Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe football show. Happy afternoon and all that jazz on this lovely Monday morning. Right, okay, so I'm going to tell you my stance first and foremost. I do not think I've overreacted, okay? I do not. And I wanted to come on and tell you the reasons as to why, and also get your thoughts on it. Right, we'll be joined a little bit later on by Matty as well, because I'm interested to get his thoughts. We're back to back on the channel today. We've got presser at 4:30, then we've got final word at 8:00. Then yeah, we're back to back. So big up. Smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. So I don't think I've overreacted. Okay, now people are telling me, and I just want to get something off my chest first and foremost. If you follow me, right, and you come for my opinion, don't be annoyed if I give you my opinion, and don't be rude and start swearing at me, because it will get you a block. Someone who's a friend of mine on Instagram started abusing me. Well, you're going to be blocked for that. It's silly. It's football in opinions. Every fan is fickle. We go up, we go down. I won't change my opinion for nobody, right? You want my raw emotion at that time post-match, I gave it you. Don't follow me on social media and then think it's okay to abuse me, because you will just be blocked, right? First and foremost. I don't mind people having a dig, but when you start swearing at me, like personally attack, then I think you're a fool. But anyway, we move. Now, I don't think I've overreacted, and the reason being is because I don't think the performance was good enough. Right, first and foremost. It's definitely not that. Let's change that. If it were, yeah, there we go. I don't think the performance was good enough. And I have this nagging feeling in my brain, because, of course, and everyone keeps saying it, we've seen this movie before. We've seen it so many times before. And that straight away has put the shits up me like you would not believe. I also look at the two fixtures that we have coming up. We've got Millwall at home and QPR away. We've not won at QPR since 2017. We lost there 4-0 last season. Millwall have beaten us twice already, 3-0 at Ellen Road. So forgive me. Forgive me for having nerves. Forgive me for having PTSD. Now, of course, everyone keeps, and rightly so, reminds me, and this is where I need to take a bit of like medicine. We've lost 1 in 18, Joe. Like, relax. This is what you've reacted like after 1 loss. And I guess I was calling the same people out who reacted like me after a draw at West Brom. I was going, relax, it's a draw. And I should be probably have that hat on after a loss, because you can't win them all. It's not feasible to win them all. We're not Arsenal invincibles, you know. But I think what it evoked to me was a poor performance. Yeah. A poor performance. Another error by the keeper. We can, and still people don't side with me in terms of blaming Meslier. I think it's all Meslier. He's got to come for the ball. I still believe that. It's hard for me to shake that. It's hard for me to shake that. And I'm looking forward to the final word, to listen to Luke, to Lockie, to Jack, to get their opinions on it, because they help me see things differently, right? But at this moment in time, I do not believe I've overreacted. I am shitting it for this week. Because imagine this scenario. This is what I can't shake in my mind. Imagine we don't win any of them games. Let's say we draw and lose, right? We've then got 2 weeks to sit on that, because it's the international break. And that's, I can't shake it. I can't shake it. Honestly, I can't. I've been at the gym this morning and I'm still feeling full of apprehension about this week. I'm actually shitting it. I won't lie to you. And I have this horrible feeling. Maybe I'll feel better after Tuesday when we see the Burnley and Sheffield United results. But my problem is, if they win, we're in third. And then we have that pressure playing at home against rivals Millwall. Forgive me for being worried. Honestly. Like, I can't lie, I'm bricking it. because the performance wasn't good enough. I come back to January, not getting a different 10 could kill us. Not getting a different number 9 could kill us. And God forbid if we get an injury at centre-back. We're getting away with that at the minute. But there's still 10 games to go. Still 10 to go. If we get an injury at centre-back, we're fucked. And all the chickens will have come home to roost. Sheffield United did business, Burnley did business, and guess what? They're both impacting games. All their signings are impacting games. And yeah, Oybab as well. The keeper situation could kill us. That's on the manager. I won't hide from that fact. That is on Daniel Farke. But I'll come back to that January window. Ben Brereton, Diaz, they're all impacting games. Marcus Edwards, he's impacting games at Burnley. We have no one to impact our games. And once the rut, if the rut sets in, because there's no changes to come, what do? Just continue to beast Aronson in the 10? He's not done out for a few weeks now. Continue to run James into the ground because he might come up with something. He was okay yesterday, but not the James that we saw a few weeks ago. I'm sorry to say, and people disagree. I mean, I read something online yesterday that Joseph's our best striker. If you think Joseph's our best striker after watching us this season, you're smoking crack. Put down the pipe. He might be in the future, but not now. So he is not the answer, because when he comes on and does his cameos, sometimes he runs around okay. Other times when he's asked to actually do something, i.e. touch the ball, he's gash. Trampoline feet yesterday and decided to start rugby tackling people with 3 minutes left to go. Damar says Joseph scores the chance Pirro put over the bar. You do not have evidence for that, though, Damar. You don't have evidence for that. I have evidence for Pirro scoring goals. 15 to be precise. I don't have evidence of Joseph scoring goals under pressure. Do you remember Burnley? Do you remember last week when he hit the post? There's no evidence to back up your statement. We also, Chelsea, you're not doing that. Someone actually sent me a message yesterday jokingly and went, remember, he scored against Chelsea. Remember, he scored goals against Kazakhstan under 21s. You're not doing that. It's crazy, man. Brandon, you're right. Leeds are shocking with pressure. And if them two win tomorrow, the pressure, oh my God. Even the fan base, we are. We are. Do you know what's mad as well? Victor Johansson, by the way. Victor Johansson's got the best average sofa score. Yeah, you did lift the mood. 1 second, Joe. I'll come to that. I will come to that, mate. You've knocked me off my stride because I've really got some answers for your statement. Yeah, if they win, we'll shit the brick. We'll shit the brick at home. Now, Joe Blackburn says, blaming the keeper for Pirro missing 2 sitters is also wild. No one's blaming the keeper for that. I don't blame Meslier for that. What I do blame him for, though, is doing his goalkeeping. I'm not blaming Pirro. I haven't said it's Mellier's fault that Pirro missed the chances. Pirro missed the chances. But what's your keeper there to do? Bail you out. Your keeper is there to bail you out. He fucking doesn't. I cannot believe that we still have people in the fan base backing him. It's a madness, Joe. I'm sorry, it is, bro. Don't mean to I'm not calling you out. It's footballing opinions. But yes, Pirro misses his chances. He is also at fault. But the keeper is expected to keep. Now, I actually think Meslier was okay yesterday. I thought he commanded his box really, really well against a physical side. But when the cookie is about to crumble, he crumbles. The indecision, and again, people can blame. We should have stopped the ball at source. Yeah, we should have stopped the ball at source when it comes from the left back position. It's one ball. The defenders should have done better, right? But ultimately they didn't. Ultimately, we didn't stop the ball. So what happens is, okay, Meslier, get us out of trouble now. He did not. He continues to not. Tell me the last time that he saved us some points, because I can give you this season alone 4 examples when he's cost us points. Now, we can also talk about how many points Pirro's got us. That's the first time this season Pirro's cost us points. Mellier's done it time after time after time. Time after time after time. Now, again, you are allowed to change your opinion. I once upon a time called this guy the best keeper in the Championship. I backed this guy. You know I have. But now it's costing us. I know, Matty. You're right. And that's where the manager takes blame. If we miss out on the playoff, on the top 2 by a couple of points, that's on the manager. We shouldn't blame individuals. We can look at moments in time, like when Bamford misses that chance against Leicester in the Prem. We can look at moments in time, but you have 46 games to make sure you go up. You have 38 in the Prem to make sure you stay up, right? So that's on the collective. But if we miss out by a couple of points, you can actually point to the keeper and say, okay, if you didn't drop the ball at Sunderland, okay, if you didn't drop the ball against Hull, where you threw it into your own net, okay, maybe if you came a little bit sooner against Portsmouth, okay, if you didn't let that one in your near post against Portsmouth at home, you can actually look at specific points. So I don't think I overreacted on the keeper, even if we can talk about who was at fault, but he's your last line of defence. And it's just not the one. Look at our competition. Look at the top 6. Look at their goalkeepers. They're all better than ours. And we could have gone out and got one. We could have got Victor Johansson. We could have. Stoke got him for next to nothing. No, Stoke got him on a free. I actually think his distribution was good yesterday. He clipped it out to Bogle. He hit it every time. We're not used to him hitting it. I actually thought he played well yesterday. Andrew, you say it's easier to pimp goalkeeping errors. It is, but it's fucking a hell of a lot easier when you're throwing them into your net, when you're dropping them in front of players. Come on now. Yeah, Stoke paid $1 million. There you go. Stoke paid $1 million. It's nothing. And Cooper. Look at Cooper at Sheffield United. Saves them points. We watch them. James Trafford. Oh my days. Worth every bit the 18 million they paid for him in the Prem, by the way. Yeah, they went down, but look at him. Oh my days. What a goalkeeper. Casey Palmer was at West Brom. Not Casey Palmer, but Palmer. Casey Palmer's plays for Coventry, I believe. Palmer at West Ham. Got transferred to Ipswich. Who else have we got up there? Patterson's better than ours. Patterson's had a few clangers this season, but he's much better than Mez. And I'd take Patterson. I don't mind him. He's putting a bit of weight, but hey ho. But my point is, there's been times this season when if it weren't for the awesome defensive structure that we have, if it weren't for that, imagine how many goals he concede, genuinely. Because the chances that he does concede sometimes are not even big chances from an XG perspective. Imagine he was getting peppered. It's a good job we're better than most of the opposition. It's a good job our defensive structure is as good as it is. Because if it wasn't, my God, he would be exposed even more. Exposed. So I don't think I overreacted on the goalkeeper. Of course, it's the toughest position, all that sort of stuff. But this season, he has not been good enough. And again, yesterday, I blame him. Of course, Pirro takes some of the blame. Others take some of the blame. I mean, Pirro gets it put on a plate by Solomon. Put on a plate. He's got to find the back of the net. Actually, the thing is, Damar, I think the manager will I think the manager will actually keep him. Is it mad to say that if you keep this keeper, it could end up costing you your job? I don't think it is. It a sackable offence to keep this keeper? I mean, this is what I'm saying. Look at the flip in me. But I am fickle. Like yesterday's boxed me off. That's why I don't think I've overreacted. I think it's I think it's that nervousness. Now, of course, everyone always yeah, and like Bad Apple Blue says, stop your beefing, Joe. We cannot win every game. I hear you. That's a good point, mate. That's why I wanted to do this stream, to try and get some perspective. But I'm shitting myself for Wednesday. I'm shitting myself for Saturday. We haven't won at QPR since 2017. We got walloped 4-0 there. We got walloped 4-0. I'll take it, bro. I'll take it, Damar. You're drier. Your sense of humour's drier than that flip-flop. That's why I love you. I am bricking it. Millwall beat us 3-0, remember? Now, of course, it was in the cup. Now, Carl, different team. I hope and pray that the presser that starts at 4 o'clock today, he's asked about changes. Someone ask him about changes, please. Because it's really hard, and again, people have been telling me this, and I do. I know sometimes when we're winning, I'll say you're all chatting shit. I know where I make mistakes. I've got a one-track mind. I always think I'm right. I get all this. It's my personality flaws, traits, whatever you want. No one's perfect, right? We all fuck up. But how can we now expect, and this is a big critic of the manager, how can we now expect Nonto Ramazani in off the cold to start? You can't. You can't. Who's going to play in the 10? You can all throw, but the fact that the only one who can play in the 10, from what we've seen from the manager, regardless of what you think, if Nonto can play there, I don't think he can. Maybe Solomon can or whatever. Regardless, that's not up for debate. We can debate that, right? But it's not up for it right now. I think what our eyes tell us, what history has told us this season, is that the manager only fancies Pirro there, right? Or Aronson. Aronson needs taking out for me. And you know I'm an advocate of his, right? You play Pirro in there. You do not have, or I do not have enough confidence in Mateo Joseph. I'm sorry, I don't. And I think as the majority of these people that are telling me is the best striker, I don't see it. I don't have this conversation that, we haven't given him minutes and that's why. Again, I don't subscribe to that because he started the season, people. He was the number 9 and he lost his place. That's on nobody but Mateo. And here's the mad thing, Matt. Here's the mad thing. Genuine conversation. When the feck's Pat back? That's where we're at. Genuinely, for me, that's where we're at. When's Pat back? And people will laugh and all that. But genuinely, I would, at this stage, be more confident if Pat Bamford led the line with Pirro in the 10. Genuinely. And And it's 2025. So them people that were telling me we didn't need anyone in January, where now? Where now? Because guess what? We're going to have to rely on Pat. It's true. It's damn true. No, it's people say it's madness. It's not. It's not. Louis, it's not, though. I genuinely don't think it's madness. 2025, right? And I genuinely would rather see, because of his experience, because he's able to handle championship defenders, etc., I'd be much more confident if Pat was the starting 9 and Pirro was in the 10 than playing Joseph there. Now, what is the problem here, again, was recruitment. Why did the manager, the ownership, those that make the key decisions, why did they not learn from last January? Because we got a right back on the fecking last day, right, who couldn't get over Archer. This January, we did zilch. We needed a 10. We needed a 10. A different profile. Someone to unlock the door. Could have done with it yesterday. So we didn't get a 10. We didn't get a 9. Listen, everyone's laughing at me at Pat, but that's where we'll end up having to go, I swear to you. That is where we're going to end up having to go. Now, no, I'm not pinning my hopes on him, Demar. I'm not. I wish I wasn't. But again, we didn't get a 9. If we'd have got a 9, we got offered Adam Armstrong. We got offered him. They said, do you want him? We said, no. Why? Why? Answer the question why Leeds United said, nah, we're good for him. It is mental now. When you look at it, it is mental. We said no. In 6 starts, he's got 2 goals. In the West Brom side that hasn't been doing great. No. Louis, he wanted to. We got offered him, bro. We got offered him. You know, we got offered him. It doesn't matter if. But Tom, he said Farker wouldn't start him. He would have done by now. I genuinely believe that. At least we'd have a different option. You're telling me yesterday that Armstrong don't come on and impact that game for Leeds? Of course. Demar, I don't think they can play in the 10. They don't. They don't eat, yeah, because it would cost money, Mark. Exactly. We don't. Oh, who could play in the 9, not the 10? Fair. Maybe. Would Gelhardt be a better option than Joseph? I'm not rewriting history. No, Gelhardt's never worked at Leeds United. It is what it is. I don't think it's fair to say that. Joffrey needed to go play. He's playing at Hull, who are in a relegation battle. It's a totally different kettle of fish at Leeds United. We know that. Josh, if you're on about Armstrong exactly being a world beater, etc., no, I get that. No one said he is. But he scored 2 goals in 6 games. He was the championship top scorer last season. Could have took him on a 6-month loan when we don't have any backups. Or the one that isn't doing it. The pressure's getting to him. Chelsea, where there's no pressure, he scores pre-season. He looks good. I was like, yeah, this guy, I picked him for top scorer. Spain under 21s, no pressure, looks good. Ellen Road, away, Leeds, championship, men's football, he's struggling. He's struggling. I just don't understand why we didn't do out in January, because it'd have a totally different feel, honestly. New players in the dressing room. Oh, Aronson, if we're being honest, Aronson's not played well for about 3-4 games now. Some will say more, but let's say 3 or 4. Don't have another option there. Pirro had a bad game yesterday, switch him. Oh, well, we have to still play him in the 10 because we don't have a 10. And the 9 that we've got, he's a bit raw, he's young, he's struggling. Oh, he didn't get a 9. It was easy to do. Armstrong was alone. Should have gone and got a 10. We made, I hate to do it, but we made the most money in Europe. And if we don't go up, yeah, the Fat Frank thing in playoffs, oh my God. If we don't go up, and there's a big chance we still will, of course, because we're top, we've got favourable fixtures. Burnley and Sheffield United have to play each other. They have to play Coventry. Their fixtures are tougher than ours. But if we don't go up, it's a collective mistake. Yeah, the manager for backing players that maybe he shouldn't have backed and not pushing the button, and the board for not pushing the button in January. The board for not pushing the button in January. It's madness. It is, honestly, it's madness. And this is why I do not believe that I overreacted yesterday. I don't. I still stand by that point. Because it's everything. It's like we've seen the movie before. I can see it playing out before it's even happened, and it worries me. It proper worries me. But we move, don't we? We move. And that's another thing fantastic as well. He said, Joe, it's not the personnel. Pompey won because they played with a will to win. How is it that we have one fecking leader in this team? I'm sorry, they have a soft underbelly. Our team has a soft underbelly. Strauch, I love him. He's not a great captain. When Melier gets absolutely side down by Oglev, no one even complains. If that's Ampadu, he's over in the ref's face. The penalty shout. Only Firpo shouted. I swear to God, if a lot of them lads were remonstrating, we'd maybe get that penalty. Jason, if you haven't watched Ampadu, he is a leader. Ampadu is a leader. We have none. We are soft. Exactly, Laura. Not one person. I think Firpo complained about the pen. The team lacks physicality. Millwall are going to be physical. QPR are going to be physical. We've got 10 games left, but we are so soft. Once it gets tough, hiding Pascal genuinely yesterday and for the last 3 or 4 games has been pretty rubbish. If I'm honest, he's been pretty rubbish. He has. Rodon has been great, by the way. Some will blame him, but he's been great. Yeah, we do lack leaders. We have one, and he's on the sideline. It's mad. Like, people told me that we wouldn't miss Ampadu. Do you remember? We wouldn't miss him. My God, do we miss him? Adrian says, Joy, I appreciate that you were trying to be light yesterday at half-time, but I have to be honest, you laughing and singing at half-time was so irritating. I'm sorry I irritate you, mate. Don't watch. I'm not going to change who I am. That comment irritates me. How's about that? Yeah, we are soft, and that's a worry, innit? That's a worry going into Millwall. That's a worry playing QPR. Solomon didn't have a bad game yesterday, Louis. He didn't have a bad game. He laid it on a plate for Pirro. He gets an assist if Pirro finishes his dinner. I don't think he had a bad game. Exactly, Chris. The board said they would do everything in their power to ensure promotion, and they haven't. They haven't. And Tanaka had his worst game in a Leeds shirt yesterday. That was an issue. That Tanaka had his worst game in a Leeds shirt. Rotation, but we don't have it. We don't have it. Damar, look at that. I was wrong on the old guard. We need them for times like now, not to play, but for leadership. Yeah, no, you bang on. Listen, you've heard my ramblings. Matty's joined us. I told Matty to jump in at around about this time so I could get his thoughts on it and he can calm me down. Let's bring him in. Matty from Imagine Not Being Leeds. How you doing, mate? You've heard my ramblings. Am I overreacting? Talk to me.
No, mate, you've brought the wrong person on if you want calming down. My reaction last night was also an overreaction to some people.
I've been cooked, mate. I've been cooked on it, abused and everything. I'm like, well, listen, it is what it is. I don't. Anyway, go on. I'll let you talk, mate.
Mate, you've got a YouTube channel. People come to hear your opinion. You know, everyone's got different opinions. And end of the day, we've lost a game of football. We drew at home last week. It's his worst run this season. A draw backed up by a loss. There's obviously going to be, I don't see how we can look at that through rose-tinted glasses. We're nervous because of last season, old battle scars we've got. It's obviously going to set us feeling nervous, but it's an isolated game. You look at it, as a game. What are you supposed to do? Just not do a review of this game, Joe. Just skip this game altogether and not talk about it. Wait till next win. You've got to talk about the nuts and bolts of the game. And there weren't many players yesterday that came out of that with who can hold their head up high. Really, there were only a couple of players who played anywhere near, if even that. I do think everything you've said is fair. To be honest. I was cringing 10 minutes ago when you started talking about Bamford. I won't lie.
It's true though, Matty. Like when you actually deep it, like. If I were to ask you, right, I put a gun to your head now, right, and said, you've got 10 games left, Pirro has to play in the 10, who would you prefer in the 9, Joseph or Bamford? Genuinely. And I'm going to put a poll in the chat on that. Like, at this moment in time, a fully fit Bamford and a fully fit Joseph, who are you taking, genuinely?
It's hard to say, though, isn't it? Because a fully fit Bamford, we don't know what Bamford that is. So it's so hard to say. Fully fit Bamford of 4 years ago, I'd say, yeah. I just don't think he's got that now. So I would still stick with Joseph, pal.
Would you? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's an hard one, isn't it? Because really, Joseph's not really competing with Pirro. Joseph's competing with Aronson. Really, they're the two. Because Pirro has to stay on the pitch now for 90, really. Because even if he's having a bad game, he pops up with a goal, so he has to go into that 10. We said he couldn't play in the 10, whether it's a 10 or like 2 up top or just off the 9, whichever you want to look at it. It performs well in that role for the last 20 minutes of a game normally. Yeah. So really, it's down to Aronson. Aronson needs to step up, and this isn't even a conversation. Pirro doesn't tend to be injured. He's always reliable, but we're having to shift him out of position now to accommodate Aronson. And I know you're a big Aronson fan. He's only got 1 goal, hasn't he, since the turn of the year?
It's not been great, mate.
No assist. And it's, like you say, he's reluctant to try anybody else in there, so it does look like Pirro's second in command for that position, which, Joseph's just not doing it. He isn't. I do think what do you think you'll get different from Paddy over Joseph? If you're honest, what do you think he'll bring that Joseph can't?
I think the biggest thing for me, and it's probably not even football ability, it's his inexperience.
Yeah.
It's knowing when to go, chasing lost causes, giving silly fouls away, decision-making. I think over the course of 90 minutes as well, say if he played yesterday, he gets gobbled up by, like if Cooper plays, let's say Cooper plays for Millwall, I think he gets gobbled up. Whereas I'd back Bamford more against your hardened championship strikers, centre-backs, sorry. I probably prefer Joseph's finishing. I don't... Yeah. It is probably a wild thought, mate, but currently the poll's 53% Joseph. So it's literally neck and neck in effect. So that's where we're at. But this is the issue, Matty. We shouldn't be in this situation because we made the most money and we bought nobody. We loaned nobody.
Yeah, true, mate. And I tell you what, I think it's wild to talk about Bamford, but I tell you what, last time this season he got close to fitness. He actually jumped Joseph in pecking order, didn't he? To be fair,
he did.
Farker definitely values Bamford.
He said it, didn't he? Yeah. He said if we had him for running, we wouldn't have messed up. That's what he's on record as saying.
He did. I don't think you get any better finishing between Bamford and Joseph.
No,
he won't have the fitness that Joseph will have. Maybe he'll do. It might be that shithousery. He might do a bit better. He might win us free kicks. He will get in the rest face. He will go down maybe a little bit soft and win us free kicks in and around the box. So there is elements of his game. If Bamford were on it, then I see the argument. But like you say, it's 2025. It shouldn't even be coming up now, mate.
No, it shouldn't. No, and I want people. No, I'm not advocating that. I'm actually fuming that in 2025 we're having to have that conversation. Do you know?
If he gets fit again, it will happen. We'll be having that conversation. It won't take long before he does jump Joseph in that pecking order. We have seen it. Yeah. What I will say is, though, I know we had a poor January. We did nothing, but I do think over 36 games, you've seen the personnel isn't really the problem. I'd only be kicking off now about January, me personally, Joe, in my opinion, if we had injuries. I think the fact that we've got players out of form, because I'm a glass half full sort of guy. I back them in these 10 games to turn that around. I don't actually want to see any changes on Wednesday, if I'm honest. And don't get me wrong, you could take them all out for me because, there were only a couple that played well. But I want to see them have the pressure against Millwall at home and set in front of nearly 37,000 fans. I want to see them have to stand up and turn that around. I think, they need to show the fans some after. I had mates travelling down there at 2 a.m. yesterday to go watch it. It was obscene, really, what they actually put out. So I do believe they'll play through the form. Gruev's getting a lot of stick. He will come out. Don't get me wrong. Rothwell will come in.
Yeah.
But you look at Gruev, you look at Aronson. Pete Solomon's getting a lot of heat at a minute, and I don't really get that. I think he's had a couple.
It's Ramazani, bro. That's why. Because the Tacticals love Ramazani.
All of a sudden,
I do believe Ramazani should be playing more. 100%.
It's hard, isn't it? Because he's had 0 minutes for weeks now, and then all of a sudden you saw Farke. I feel like Farke's been in control of most situations for the last month or two. His subs have appeared well. All these little tactical tweaks seem like he's evolved, and we know all of a sudden yesterday we're like, just throw them all on again. I don't know what I'm doing, and it was like we'd gone back 2 or 3 months to where we were before, and it's been strange considering recently, even the Sunderland game coming back at home, that were an opportunity he could have thrown everybody on, but he didn't. He was tactile with his decisions in that moment, smart, and brought on defender and a centre mid rather than wingers and attackers. I feel like when you do that, you lose all rhythm. Your players aren't used to training with all wingers and 2 strikers. It just becomes clunky, and they don't really know. And at that point, you're not going to get a goal. No, I don't really know where it goes from now, because I was looking at the away fixtures, mate. I think at home, I know Millwall's I'll be going to that one, and I am bricking it, mate. I have a lot of Millwallers come for me on my.
Do you know what the thing channel as well, Matty, is? The pressure. If Sheffield United and Burnley win tomorrow, will be insane. We'll be in 3rd, bro. What's really frustrating for me as well, right? We've won every game in Feb, unbeaten in 18, whatever it was, right? 17, 18. And we're on joint points.
Yeah, it's mad. All fan groups of those 3 can say the same though. So we've just gone 17 games unbeaten, right? If you don't look at the table for 3 months, you expect to look at it and go, we're 10, 15 clear.
Yeah.
Burnley haven't lost since October. They're on a 20-odd match unbeaten run. And Sheffield United just won't go away. So all 3 fan bases, I know we're doing it because it's us, but all 3 fan bases will be doing the same as us. We're going, how the hell, Burnley, how the hell are we 3rd? We haven't lost since October. Like, we'll all be doing it. But last year was an anomaly, apparently. Those 3 sides will finish on 90-plus points this season. And we're back to again.
I might have to fall on my sword. I said they wouldn't. Louis will cook me, but I don't know. Maybe Burnley will now. They've started scoring goals.
It's mental because they've just sort of gone about the business quietly. They haven't pulled up any trees either of them sides, but they've just been reluctant in their output of getting points. Burnley worry me now because they're now scoring goals. Yeah, and before, they always left it open, didn't they? Because they might only score 1 goal in a game. So there's always a chance they'll drop points, even though the defence is so good. Now they're scoring 2 as a minimum. They're going to win more than, they're probably going to win more than the draw.
They still don't concede, yeah. They're not conceding. So it's like, yeah.
And the ones that worry me, mate, our away form, I think, it'll be fine. But that away form, right? QPR, 12:30 kickoff in London. Luton, 12:30 kickoff down south.
And imagine going into the international break. Let's say we only pick up a point, 4 points. It still won't feel enough going into international break, bro. It won't, man.
No, it won't. It won't at all. There's just zero margin for error now, Yeah. It comes down to mentality for me now. I know we can talk about players and positions and all that. They've been good enough of these players now for 36 games, which is a bigger sample size than the 10 games remaining. So for me, we've still got these players that are out of form, or players that we may prefer to not play. They're still good enough because we've seen it for a longer period of time than what we've got left. Problem now is it's mentality. Have they got the mentality to climb off the floor when they're feeling like they are now? Have they got the balls to do it, Joe? And also complacency, has that crept in? So you've got the nerves, and you've also got, is he a bit of cockiness there? Creeping in?
Do you agree that we're soft, Matty?
100%. Mate, I looked at the results while Ampadu were out, and our away form in particular was atrocious when Ampadu were out. And my worry is with 5 away games left, because for me, us finishing autos or not,
people said we won't miss him. People said we won't miss it.
People don't rate him. I don't know what it is with him.
Mad,
He's
bro.
good on eye. I don't know what it is because he slows game down. Well, sometimes you need to do that to coax the defenders.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we could have done with yesterday.
100%. I mean, he is the one who is tough, who does get stuck in. We've seen him come out, you know, I remember against Hannibal at Burnley, flew in and came out worse off. Sometimes it happens, but he's the one who takes the game by the scruff of the neck and flies into challenges. He's 100%. Vocal. He's the leader. And like you said earlier, there aren't many leaders out there. You know, you have Strauch who leads by example, but he's a quiet captain, mate. He's a very quiet mate. He is too quiet. 100%. When you look at the stats back it up, when you look at Ampadu, at home, hasn't really mattered, but away from home, we are poor without Ampadu. And with those 5 games remaining, away from home is where it'll cost us. At home, we'll get enough points at home in these remaining 5. Away, if we only win a couple of those last 5, we won't make autos. And he's a massive part of that. It's worrying. It's worrying. Crazy. I still think we'll do it, John. I know you do. I know you.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah. I'm just really nervous, bro. I'm really nervous. Listen, I'm aware, Matty, you've got a show straight after this, I believe.
Yeah, 1, mate. I'm gonna go
1 o'clock. Okay. I don't want to do it all to a death. We've got final word tonight. I've got the press conference reaction, and I hope and pray that someone actually says, "Why aren't you using players more?" or "Will you make changes?" Let's see what he says. I hope they put a bit of pressure on in that respect. But yeah, will someone put Matty's channel in the chat, please? Because Matty's probably going to continue his rambling straight after this.
Cheers,
no worries, my man. If someone puts that in, but yeah, man. And I guess my thing was like I put it on, you know, the bottle's on, and everyone's like, "Bottle job, we've lost one." Yeah, but I'm just saying, like it looks like it could be on if we don't sort our shit out. And look, at the end of the day, if you were to ask Sheffield United and Burnley fans, they would much prefer our fixtures. They'd much prefer to be playing Millwall at home than, I mean, Sheffield United are against Bristol City, who are chasing top 6, no mugs, and Burnley have got West Brom. Yep. They'd much rather our game against Millwall. But, you know, I worry about mentality. I worry about that physicality that them teams are going to give us. That's all we've got between now and then. So, listen, what I will say, Portsmouth was always going to be tough to go to. They've lost once in 12 now. Only conceded 1 goal per game at home during that time as well. So they don't concede a lot. Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it, Matty? But Matty, I assume you'll be talking much of the same after?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'm doing a bit like you do because I'm very nervous. I sort of want to go back to the fixtures and look ahead of what's to come and see where I sort of think we'll end up. So it's a bit of a from now to the end of the season, where do we reckon? Look at the fixtures prediction sort of thing. You know, something like that. Something a bit different. Try and make me feel better at the end of it.
Yeah, 100%. No, I get that, mate. Get it done.
Appreciate it, mate.
Right, folks, I'll leave it there. I've rambled on enough. Hopefully you don't think I've overreacted now. And I've give you some more context as to why. Who do you take, by the way? 53% say Joseph, 47% say Bamford.
Wow.
Smash me a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit that notification bell. Go check out Matty's channel now, which is here. So you click that, you'll go straight over. There is also, I'll be back at 4:30 for post-match presser. Pre-match presser, sorry. And again at 8 o'clock for the final word. But thanks always for watching, and I'll see you in a bit, folks. Thanks, Matty. Cheers, buddy.